share as we tarry there. None other has ever known. He speaks, and the sound of his voice is so sweet. The birds hush their singing, and the melody that he gave to me within my heart is ringing, and he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own, and the joy that we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. And he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own, and the joy that we share as we tarry there, none other has ever
Torch has been passed. We'll understand more about that later.
Don't get used to it.
Don't be
Please bow your heads. Father God, we're so thankful for your many blessings. Today we're especially thankful for the time you gave each of us with Charles, Chuck, Chuck Honey, Chucky, Dad, Grandpa, Great-Grandpa, or however he was known to those gathered here in his memory. Let us celebrate his life with us and feel comforted that he is now in your loving arms, free of pain. We rejoice that he's once again with his sons Phil and Wes. We just ask today that you would fill each of our hearts with joyous memories of Chuck and his life here on earth. Let there be no sadness here. In Jesus' name, amen. Ashley, could you please tell us where your great-grandpa is right now? Go ahead.
In heaven with Jesus.
And who else?
And great grandma Honey.
And who else?
And great grandpa Zeke.
Okay, you did it. Good job. Thank you. Everybody was wondering how to tell her that her great-grandpa had passed, and she told her mom and dad, "Why is everybody walking around here whispering and so sad?" And they told her, and she said, "Mom, he's in heaven with Jesus and with great-grandma Honey," my mom. So I guess that's where they are. This is a celebration of the life of Charles Clark Chuck Emerson. Chuck was born in Newberry in that state north of Ohio that I will not mention. On September 1st, 1934. By the way, I'd already forgiven him for that at the time of his passing. He was raised in Whitefish, Montana, along with his brothers Dick and Chris and his sister Yvonne. He passed away in Tucson on March 1st, 2016, at the age of exactly 81 and a half years. And in those 81 and a half years, he lived a rich and full life. He married his wife Florence, hereinafter referred to as Mom by me and always referred to as Flossie by Chuck. On November 10th, 59 years ago, we always help Mom and he celebrate on November 11th. I mean, who gets married on the Marine Corps birthday? He's survived by Mom, daughter Judy of Wenatchee, Washington, and son Charles Jr. of Spokane, Washington, and their spouses Jim and Joan, respectively. He's also survived by his daughter Aletha and her husband Wah, his brother Dick, and wife Agnes of Wasilla, Alaska. Chuck is also survived by 14 grandchildren, Bill, Michael, and Laura, who are here, and 18 great-grandchildren, including Ashley and Katie, who are also here today. His brother Chris and sister Yvonne and two sons, Wesley and William, predeceased him. Chuck was a proud U.S. Army veteran of the Vietnam War. He was twice awarded the Bronze Star and twice the Army Commendation Medal. He spent a tour in Vietnam in 1968 and 69. Please remember that no one goes to war and comes back the same person. Be always thankful for the sacrifice that he and his family made to provide us with the freedoms that we have. He had a total of 15 years, 1 month, and 21 days of Army service. Some people may have said military service here, but Chuck and I had a long-running battle over this. I had to constantly remind him that the Marine Corps is the military. He was in the service. Okay, back on track. Of those years, months, and days of service, 13 years, 6 months, and 28 days were on active duty. Now, you might ask, why would a man with 15 years of service suddenly leave the U.S. Army just 5 years short of the possibility of retirement? Chuck left the Army because even though he had a tremendous love for his country and his job defending it, he loved his wife and family more and felt a huge responsibility to them after the death of his young son, Bill. In 1969, Bill tragically lost his life while Chuck was serving his country in Vietnam. He rushed home to be with his family, but shortly the Army decided that he hadn't spent enough time in the war zone and decided to return him for another full year tour of duty. You can imagine that after the death of a child, Mom needed her husband, Aletha and Wesley needed their dad. The Army would not relent, so Chuck made the decision to leave active duty and honor his commitment to his wife and children. That was the kind of man Chuck Emerson was. After leaving the Army, Chuck settled in with the Internal Revenue Service of the federal government. He retired from the IRS in 1995 and then enjoyed the past 21 years pursuing his love of his family, fishing, service above self, and travel. He was an active member of the Rotary Club of Rio Rico, a member of the Green Valley Elks Lodge, and belonged to 3 RV clubs. In 2002, while Aletha and I were building our home here in Rio Rico, he took his bride on a round-the-world cruise so we could stay in their house during construction. He and Flo took mini cruises, and he had wonderful stories of freshwater crocs, snorkeling in the Great Barrier Reef, and many other adventures from each of them. For 11 years, he and Flo had a summer home in Sterling, Alaska with all those mosquitoes. He loved to fish the Alaskan waters, and one of the fondest memories I have in my life after I killed 2,958,482 of those mosquitoes is of a fishing trip that he and I took out of Homer. We fished for cod, salmon, and halibut. We got our limit of cod and halibut, got skunked on salmon, and just had so much fun. We were always talking about another trip to Alaska to hunt caribou together, but we just never got around to it. Maybe we were fooling ourselves. Neither one of us probably could have made the hikes we needed to make to do that, but we loved talking about it. Chuck loved to tell anyone who would listen that he and I had an IQ of 100. Well, I had 60 and he had 40. Now, I got more points, but he got to claim that big 6'6" body. After all, he always said Flossie married him for that body. Not what you think. He said he could always reach the top shelf anywhere that they lived. We also had our bald head kissing ritual started by Chuck nearly 10 years ago. Aletha and I were at a group dinner with some friends of hers that I really didn't know much at all. Chuck and Mom, unknown to us, were in the same restaurant that evening, and when Chuck spotted us, he walked across the restaurant, kissed me on top of my head, and walked out of the building, leaving about 20 very puzzled diners in our group. The challenge was on, and bald head kissing became a fact of life for the two of us. Bill, your job now. My favorite time with Chuck was always better told by him, and I'm going to try to tell it for him today. A number of years ago, we decided to venture out into the desert west of Tubac on our ATVs. And the fun started early when we got to the Santa Gertrudis crossing of the Santa Cruz River. It was open then, and it was monsoon season, and I hope the driver of that shiny new black Lexus that was sitting in the middle of the water with water running in window and out the other isn't here today, because they're probably going to feel bad that we had a pretty good laugh about that. We had to turn around, go back around, and we went over to a spot where we unloaded the truck and the trailer, got on our ATVs, drove past a couple Border Patrol guys, came over the top of a hill into an arroyo, and all of a sudden there was movement on the side. Both of us, very tough, manly combat veterans, drew our pistols right away, and the 6 drug mules dropped their drugs, and they ran around and got up on the top, and they stood and looked at us and realized we were wearing the wrong uniforms for Border Patrol, so they decided they were going to get their drugs back. And I yelled "Vamos, vamos" a couple times, and 3 of them took off, but 3 dropped down around the corner. We got 6 guys, $220,000 worth of drugs. They want their drugs back. I look back over my shoulder. There's Chuck with his 357. Got my back, but we weren't quite sure what to do. The 3 came running down the arroyo, and I thought, I don't want to shoot 3 guys. I don't want Chuck to have to shoot 3 guys. I know. I put a bullet right down by one of the guys' head. You'd be surprised how fast they left. Chuck and I then decided to do what a lot of people said was pretty stupid. We loaded all the drugs up on Chuck's quad. He had a dump bed. We weren't going to leave it there for them. So we loaded the drugs up. We had averaged about 7 miles an hour coming in. We averaged about 45. It's the only time we ever got our ATVs off the ground, and we were flying. We suddenly had the thought on our way out that perhaps the drug guys had a satellite phone. And so we were really trying to get back to the Border Patrol. We got there, told the Border Patrol guys we had their drugs. They had 2 Blackhawks there right away, all kinds of excitement. They couldn't find the guys. Clouds were gathering. They had a Border Patrol major on the phone, on the radio, who kept telling them that we were to stay there. Monsoon season, clouds gathering. Chuck and Blaine, not real young guys, not real happy. Finally, we told the Border Patrol guys, if you want to shoot us in the back, shoot us in the back. We're leaving. Got on our ATVs, went about a quarter of a mile of the 5 miles we had yet to go to get back to the truck, and the world opened up on us. We had ice from the hail piled on our laps this deep. We got back to where the truck was, and there's a Border Patrol vehicle and a sheriff's vehicle. And they're all sitting in the same vehicle. And they said, and we said, you want to talk to us? Get out and get wet like us. So we loaded up the ATVs, and they told us they wanted to meet us under the bridge on I-19. So when we got there, I was a little irate, and I sort of started chasing the Border Patrol major and yelling and stuff. And so the deputy sheriff stepped in between us and kind of asked what happened, and I explained that we'd fired this shot and we got rid of them, and they explained to us that it's against the law in Arizona to fire a warning shot. Okay, next time I'll give you a pile of bodies. No. And Chuck says, and he's a really good shot, and he's a really good shot. He'll triple tap him right in the forehead, and they'll all be dead. Chuck, shut up. We're going to jail. When I think of Chuck in that day, holding my pistol trained on the 6 guys that were about to lose $220,000 worth of drugs that they really wanted back. As I mentioned earlier, when I glanced over my shoulder, there was Chuck with his 257 and high pistol. He had my back, and he always did. During the last 27 days of Chuck's life, I held his hand, I kissed his bald head, and I told him I loved him every day. I sat and talked to him when he was sedated, intubated, restrained. I don't know that he could hear what I was saying, but I just wanted him to hear my voice. I wish he didn't have to go through all of that, but I'm also very thankful that I got the opportunity to sit with him. It was much better than a caribou trip would have been. You will always have a place in my heart. I love you, Chucky. Well, Mom, Flossie.
Sure, you want me to follow that?
I'm staying close to you.
Thank you. I've never been able to do this before. Never had the guts to get up here and probably blubber all over everything. But let me try. How do you say a final goodbye to your best friend, your lover, your husband of almost 60 years? You give him the final 2 kisses and silently tell him to go fishing. When you talk to Chuck, most often the subject will get around to him fishing. He loved to go fishing. Now that he's gone fishing, I remember back to the highlights of our time together. It was the first time I ever saw him. He walked through the door of the cafe where I was working, tall and straight, and head and shoulders above all the others, with that head of very curly red hair. Then there's the time I proposed eloping to Idaho to get married because my father was so against me seeing Chuck because he said it would never last. Then the babies came. First Alifa, then Wesley, and finally Bill. Bill didn't stay with us for very long because he died in a tragic accidental fire while Chuck was in Vietnam. The year Chuck was in Vietnam wasn't a happy time, but the love letters he sent me kept my heart warm for his return. After his tour in Vietnam and Bill's tragic death, Chuck left the military and worked at several sales jobs. I worked for civil service, and when I had an opportunity to go into a management position in another state, he urged me to take it. He said he could always make more money in sales than I could working as a secretary following him around. He was right, and we kept working and moving together until our retirement in 1995. We didn't stop moving then, though. We traveled in our RV for 3 years after our retirement and saw a lot of the United States and Canada, and Chuck fished everywhere he could. We then put down some roots and lived part here in Alaska and part here in Rio Rico. Those were happy, fun-filled years together. In 2007, we decided to stop that nomadic life and just live in our Rio Rico home. Our travels didn't stop then, though, because we discovered we enjoyed taking cruises. And so we cruised once or so each year. When Chuck left to go on that final fishing trip on March 1st, we had 2 cruises booked. One to go to the Mediterranean this fall, and one to trace the voyage of the Vikings in 2017. Unfortunately, Chuck won't be able to take those cruises because he's gone fishing. But I will go on the Mediterranean one because it was the one he especially wanted to take. I'll take some of his ashes and leave them at each port, and as I do, I will think again those happy thoughts of the years we had together.
You guys both get it together. I'm over here crying.
You see a 6'7", 330-pound guy cry, you're going to see it today, like all of them.
Pictures.
Grandpa
Chuck. He taught me so many things. He was a father and a grandfather. He told me to fish, to hunt, ride a bicycle, drive a car. Taught me how to cook girls. Anything. There's no subject that was out of bounds for me. I remember him teaching patience. Gosh, my first 5 years of fishing was spent working on that stupid bird's nest in my reel, finish until you get this down. One day.
Are you gonna tell my favorite story?
I'm gonna try.
Okay. This is classic Chuck.
So there's lots of stories you can tell about Chuck. My character was hard on so many levels. Patience he talks about. It was well learned and a little one-sided.
This is true.
So we had a favorite game that we had to play. It's called Axis Now. I'm sure you guys know. It's a strategy game. It's a game for 12 and up. That's what it said. About the age of 8, he ran out of people to play with. So we had a little, I guess an agreement where if I set up the board, we play. And he would have the best strategies in the world, but strategies can't account for luck. And luck usually was on my side. All it would take is one bad run of luck, and the game was over, and that usually was created by the dice flying across the room. I remember well the first time that learning this dramatic way to end the game came to mind. I picked up the dice and don't you dare throw those dice. but you realize that he meant what he wanted you to learn things that but the story that we're going to go on to, I'm going to precursor that one by another one, which is we used to go fishing out on his boat, which he told me every man has two dreams. The first is to buy a boat. The second is to get rid of said boat. And, so we were out on the sound of the said boat, and we were trying to catch fish, which sometimes it happens, sometimes it did not. In this particular instance, we pulled up a dogfish, a shark. And being a very good and gentle, kind, loving person, pulled this shark up and attempted to release it. The shark had other ideas, so it caught his thumb and made some pretty nasty marks in his thumb before he grabbed it by its tail and ripped it out. He then proceeded to grab what we colloquially refer to as the fish bonker, which was a large rubber mallet, and he made it into paste. We then did not have to worry about bait or other dogfish as it was in the ocean. So, to get to the story that William's referring to, we were out on the ocean, and the main, and the main motor cut out. Tried to get it going. Tried to get it going. Wouldn't go. So he had a little outboard motor on this thing, which was just tiny, but he fired it up and we started trying to go. Now, this motor was so weak. Every time a big tugboat or something go by, we're going backwards as he's trying to steer it and we're trying to go. And then the outboard motor cut out. So I looked at what we do now. We got oars. Okay, so we proceeded to oar until I got tired because that was all the age of 11 or 12. He said, "Well, fine, you go ahead and take a break and get rowing." And he went. Eventually, everything got dark outside. We went out there all day. And said to me, "Take a nap. Get down to the cabin. Take a nap." He kept going. And finally, he called the Coast Guard, but he kept going. And so, about 2 in the morning, they showed up. And I remember they said, "Well, we would have found you faster, but you weren't where you thought you were." "What do you mean?" "Well, you said you were over here." He said, "Yeah, we just needed to get around this little, inlet, we would have been right into the harbor." "No, sir, if you'd gone around the inlet, you would have been out in the open ocean." Oh. They nicely towed us back to Port Ludlow, and it out. Pulled out his wallet and had a long string of credit cards. And said, take care of it. So we went and got a hotel room. Got up early next morning, went out to the boat. I realized that I left my fishing line in the water the whole time. And it was tugging. Well, lo and behold, about 4 feet down, there was a dog shark about 4 feet long. Just kind of swimming back and forth. And so I said, well, what do we do? He said, well, what do you think you're going to do? You're going to reel it in, and either you're going to let it go, or you're going to kill it and gut it, and you're going to have shark for breakfast. So I looked at that shark long and hard. I thought back to the fish pond. So I knew what to do. I had the fish pond ready before I got out of the water. So I proceeded to pound that thing into the ground, cut it up, grabbed the guts out, descaled it, pulled the meat out, and we grilled it up with some onions and some potatoes. That's what we had for breakfast. But that's the one thing that you learn about him is that he always kept going. So, before I start blubbering, I'm going to make an exit. Thank you very much.
Yes, the Ohio contingent wasn't able to be here, so they're here by cell phone.
Yes.